All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the NBA Finals game number 3 to dive into in today's video. We got the Pacers at home taking on the Thunder. In today's video, I'm going to dive into this game. I'm going to give you my prediction on the side. I'll give you my prediction on the total. We'll talk about the other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, guys, keep an eye down on the pinned comment of this video. That'll take you to all of my final plays so that I'm actually rolling with myself. If that does interest you, it's absolutely free down in the pinned comment. All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. I tell you guys I'm a dummy all the time. They don't suck. They've just been sucking. Get them down to -3, 4 more juice than Jose Canseco in his prime. Tell me you're new without telling me you're new. So don't go jumping down my throat in the comments, right? If you want to fade me, or if you do want to ride me, this still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, right? And remember, more chins, more wins. In terms of game number 2, we're having ourselves a nice little NBA Finals run. We had the Pacers team total under. That cashes. And Isaiah Hartenstein over 6.5 rebounds. That cashes. Miles Turner over in the threes. That does not come through. But again, a nice little run. We cashed Hartenstein's rebounds in game number 1. Ran it right back game number 2. Might be looking at it again today. We'll talk about it when we get into the player props, but let's go ahead and talk about this game. So obviously we're notched at 1 now. The Thunder come out and do kind of what we thought they would, win 123-107. And this could be a little bit different though, right? You have the Pacers now at home, which is obviously a little bit different. I will say their points per game goes up. Their net ratings go up when they're at home. So they have been a decent home team. Their percentages actually aren't as impressive though. I mean, in terms of field goal percentage, it's better on the road so far this year, and their three-point percentage is a 36% compared to a 32% so far in the playoffs when on the road. So that's kind of surprising, especially when all I've been talking about with the Pacers is, can they continue to shoot like this? Can they continue to score? Yada, 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 right? So for that reason, I think 5 might be a little too low as the Thunder. And I know we keep getting the comments, and I hope any Pacers fans out there hear this and understand this. I am rooting for the Pacers. If the Pacers win, like, that is awesome as a small market, don't have like the household superstar, MVP conversation type player. Like, that's awesome for the parity of the NBA. I just think the Thunder, in terms of putting my hard-earned bread on this bad boy, are the better team and whatnot. So though I may seem like I'm fading the Pacers with their team total under or anything like that, it really isn't me like hating on the Pacers. So if you're a Pacers fan or pulling for the Pacers, hopefully you understand that that there's two different sides. You got the left brain and the right brain. One is the strategic side, one is the enjoyment side, and that enjoyment side is rooting for the Pacers. But this Thunder squad, especially if the Pacers are bound to shoot a worse percentage at home, I don't really see why the Thunder can't come in there and kind of continue to do what they even just did a game ago, right? We saw the Pacers defense be like, oh, wow, we're kind of outmatched here. The Thunder, in terms of their home and away splits so far this year, they've actually been pretty damn good in terms of on the road from a defensive perspective. The offense is what kind of worries me. So the fact that they're playing a defensive, the Pacers, who don't necessarily embody defense, they're more of like the run and go and go and go. That's kind of why I like the Thunder, but I also don't mind the idea of a slight lean towards the under. This Thunder team scores 122 at home in the playoffs so far this year, 109 when they are on the road. So though I still think that they can kind of control this team, the Pacers team, score when they want, they're not playing with the same amount of pace. They're not shooting the ball the same. Their three-point percentage drops down below 30% on the road. So I think this is going to be kind of the messier of the games that we've seen, the messiest of the games that we've seen so far. So give me an under as well as the Thunder. And again, that Thunder spot is just them being the better team. I don't have necessarily the numbers behind that. I think the under may be more of an analytical backed play there. So ultimately, that is what I'm rolling with in terms of the sides. Keep an eye on the final plays to see what we end up rolling with, but give me the Thunder as well as the under. Thunder under. That rhymes. Maybe that's a sign. All right, let's jump into some player props here, guys, and we're going to be using Outlier for the remainder of this video. So if you guys have not signed up for Outlier yet, you're missing out. Not just for the NBA. I know there's only a few games left. What's the point? MLB, this tool is great for. NFL, right around the corner. As crazy as that is, this tool is amazing for. NHL, still kicking. This tool is great, especially when it comes to player props. But they also have the EV Boost, Arbitrage, and Middling tools if you do want to go and get Outlier Pro, which is the more premium version. you can have those sports betting profitable tools right at your fingertips. But everything you'll see in here, you get a 7-day trial with if you use the link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. And after that, it's just $19.99 a month. You hit a couple plays, it's going to pay for itself. But Hartenstein here, over 6.5 rebounds. Yeah, we're paying a little bit of juice, but 9 and 8 so far in this series. You can see against the Pacers in general, 10 of 13 games, 9.6. On the road against the Pacers, 4 of his last 5, averaging 8.4. What I really like here, you can see his rebound chances obviously high, but what I like here is so far in this series, 12 and 14 rebound chances, right? So that's not even true. Actually, what we got to get, we're lost here. Let's go last 5 games so we can see this. 12 and 14 rebound chances. I guess I was right. He grabbed 9 of 12 and 8 of 14, and we finally saw a little bit of a minutes uptick, right? 22 minutes played from him. Now they were blowing him out. That's probably Chet's not getting as much run. You get the deal. But even in 17 minutes, 9 rebounds. What I like here is against the center position, 5th worst in terms of allowing rebounds is Indiana, right? So I do like that spot. Ultimately, when he does play 20 minutes, we've looked at this every game so far this series, 21 or more minutes, so over 20 minutes, 58 of 66 games, 88%. Away games, 91. Now, if we want to say with Chet Holmgren, because obviously that's somewhat of a minute suck from him, right? If we go Chet Holmgren's in the game, it does drop, but it's still 10 of 13, and the rebound chances are still plenty of what we need, 18.5. So if he gets any more rebound chances, he's already been converting pretty damn well, right? With the 9 and 8 on 12 and 14. He gets any more opportunities, he should cakewalk into this one. So yeah, we've already cashed this game 1 in, game 2, paying a little bit more juice now, but I don't mind Hartenstein here, over 6.5 rebounds. Next, we'll flip over to the Pacers side of things, and I have a couple Aaron Nesmith spots that I kind of want to focus on here. I like his under 2.5 three-pointers made. You're probably like, what the hell? The guy's cashed in both games so far this series, which you can see here. But check him out when at home so far in the playoffs. Not exactly all that great. Sure, against Milwaukee, he looked okay, but against Cleveland, against the Knicks, nothing to write home about, right? Even from a points perspective, you could see very, very similar in terms of his playoffs. Not exactly all that tremendous on the road from we got to get this set up, from an unders perspective, right? Cleveland, New York, not all that great. So I think Aaron Nesmith, as weird as it is at home, kind of struggles. I don't know why, but and it's also, I guess you could say why, ready? He doesn't shoot as many. 9 attempts and 4 attempts. So 9 and 4, right? From the field. So 9 field goal attempts, three or four of those being threes. If we look at this from an away perspective, it's a little bit higher, right? 7 and 8 threes so far in this series. Last 10, 5.6, shooting a lot more on the road. So whatever it is about him, he does shoot a little bit more on the road. We're getting plus 100. If you do want to look at his under 13.5, I don't mind paying the juice at minus 136. It does, I don't know if that necessarily number will matter because this is going to be a guy that, probably gets to either he's going to get 12 or less, right? Or he's going to go for like 16, right? If this line is 13.5 versus 12.5, I don't know how much of a difference it moves. Looks like one time he landed on 13. On the season, let's see if that moved it at all. So under was 34 of 63. If we move it to 30 to 13, 5 games in the season. The whole season, he landed on 13. So I don't know if that's necessarily the keyest of numbers for him. Keep an eye on the final plays. I think both these player props so far have potential to be looked at. Another under that we're taking a peek at, and this is going to be like counterintuitive because it's Chet Holmgren under 8.5 boards. Yes, against the center and the power forward, they allow a lot of rebounds, but Chet Holmgren has not been the rebound guy in this series. Like, even with 17 in game number 2, freaking 17 rebound chances, he came away with 6. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy on the season that, sure, he had his rebounding good spurts, but averaged just 15 rebound chances per game and only grabbed 8 of them, which that's not even that's a over 50% conversion rate. Last 10, we can make a better case, right? 15, only grabbed 7. Last 5, had 14, grabbed 6. So things are going down. Last 5 games here, obviously haven't grabbed 9 rebounds. So I like the idea of Chet Holmgren under 8.5 rebounds. Yes, you can use all the same positional stuff and be like, why do you like Hartenstein more than Holmgren if they're both centers? They play on the same team, against the same team. It's just that Hartenstein's going to go get the board when it's in his vicinity, whereas Holmgren doesn't necessarily seem like it is. And what I like about this is if we see a lot of Holmgren on Miles Turner on the defensive side of things, Miles Turner is going to hang around the three-point line a lot, meaning Holmgren's not necessarily always going to be down low to grab these boards. And if he does play with, you know, Isaiah Hartenstein, I think that that's a good spot as well. Let's put that on there. Let's put the filter of, you know, him with Hartenstein. Last 10, he's only averaged 7.2. Last 20, 7.8. Last 5, 6.2 when playing with Hartenstein. So I think this could be a decent spot. That's what we're looking at as of right now so far in this game. Again, Thunder minus the 5. If this was like an 8.5 or 9, and I think it's going to be somewhat of a low-scoring game, I don't think that I'd be all over the Thunder, but there's a chance that we roll with the Thunder and the under. And then player prop-wise, I like all of those. We might have a decent amount of plays out there tonight because we like all the things. Like, this is a spot in which, for whatever reason, I've been telling you guys so far in the playoffs that these lines are scrutinized, they're tough to beat. I'm liking what we see tonight. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, go ahead and comment 10 down below. That lets me know that you made it that far into the video. And I love the comments being like, why is everyone commenting 10? Well, if you know, you know, right? Comment 10 if you made it this far. Really do appreciate you tuning in. Check out Outlier, guys. Link down in the description as well as the pinned comment. 7 days free. Catch you guys in the next one, right? Peace out.